on.
Yeah.
So while we're on the topic of Japan, we cannot forget that WWE superstar Shinsuke Nakamura faced the Great Muta in his retirement match at Pro Wrestling Noah on New Year's Day. Many wrestling fans claim that Pro Wrestling Noah presented Nakamura as the superstar that he should be presented as in WWE. So my question to you is, do you believe that WWE dropped the ball with Shinsuke? And do you believe that it's going to change under Hunter's rule?
Yeah, I really feel like Shinsuke felt very regular when he came to the main roster. And I noticed it as soon as they changed his music, and I had a feeling it was going to happen as soon as they changed his music. Not that I don't like the Korean rock, or not Korean. What is it, like Korean rock? Is it? I
It's
forgot.
Japanese.
Some Japanese rock. It was really good. It was really good. I had a feeling as soon as they tailored that he just wasn't going to feel the same, and I think that they tried to do a callback with AJ and Shinsuke, and it still didn't feel the same at all. It was nothing like what they did. Shinsuke just felt like, to me, more of a comedy act. They kind of made him more act like the stereotype. My Give me one moment. My freaking charger fell out of my laptop. But yeah, no, it just felt as though that they didn't want him to feel better than AJ for some weird reason. Again, I'm not sure if it was like a cultural thing that Vince just didn't get Shinsuke, but the best he was as far as WWE goes is like when he was in NXT. I think if you gave it some time, Hunter probably would attempt to fix it so that Shinsuke doesn't attempt to go anywhere. Because if I was Shinsuke, I'd be pretty pissed off of everything that, you know, I'd done in Japan and just flying all the way out to America and going to WWE, the promised land of all pro wrestling, and someone literally just kind of just fizzles out all of your work. But I do think like you could salvage it. You most definitely can. It's just that will like the current WWE fans care at this point because they haven't seen the best version of Shinsuke, and I think a lot of people that are casual viewers have not even watched his previous work to understand why he's that important, or watched NXT 1.0 to see why he was also like chosen. So that's just my take on it. What do you think?
Personally, I first of all, shout outs to the Great Muta for a legendary career and for in his last match putting over Shinsuke Nakamura, because he did not have to do that. If he wanted to take the win, he could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as far as did WWE drop the ball? Absolutely. I think that Vince kind of didn't know what to do with him after
Mm-hmm.
he came up from NXT. And the funny thing about it is that when you watch read some of Shinsuke's interviews about him coming to WWE, he was saying like he didn't come over to, be the main event guy all the time. Like he wasn't trying to have like these 5-star matches that everybody was trying to, have him have in WWE, because a lot of them were stiff and unsafe. And he talked about how unsafe Japanese wrestling was. So I don't think that he's necessarily like in a place where he is like hell bent on like trying to be a main eventer. So I think that that's maybe another reason as well. However, I do believe that WWE still dropped the ball on him, because even though that may have not been his intention, he was naturally a main eventer because of how naturally charismatic he was and how good
Mm-hmm.
he was.
Mm-hmm.
So I also believe that Vince dropped the ball when he came to the main roster. I do believe Hunter can rebuild him. I do believe that there are things that he did in that match against Muda that he can carry. I would love to see Shinsuke with the Green Mist.
Oh yeah.
That's because that's what he did to take out the Grey Muda, was that
Mm-hmm.
Green Mist. I would love to see Nakamura incorporate that into what he does at WWE, as kind of like him kind of carrying on his legacy. But I do believe that it is not too late for him to be rebuilt and presented in a way that the WWE fans can care about, because I feel like people love Shinsuke, and rightfully so. He's so good. He's so charismatic. He's great in ring. He can put on great matches, but just let Shinsuke be Shinsuke. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that the WWE will have another star. But want to know what the people think about this. So let us know if you believe that Shinsuke Nakamura can be rebuilt in WWE. But we're going to be moving on.